The first thing we had to do was to acquire all the materials needed for the creation of the guitar. Once I had all the materials, I was ready to create the guitar. The first step was to create the neck. We started by cutting it 80 centimeters from the bottom. The first thing I did was to create an indent in the neck. This would help us unite the neck and the box. Then I had to make one side of the neck round. This was done with the help of a Dremel tool. Now I had to create a headstock. I used the Dremel tool to make it thinner. Then, with the help of a pencil, I drew the form of each of the tuning pegs. I had a problem, which is that the wood was too thick. So what I did is to use the Dremel tool to make it much thinner, as we can see in the image. The next step was to create a hole on the box, through which the pickup will pass. I had a problem, which is that the pickup was too wide. So what I did is to create a platform around the neck, as you can see in the image. Then, with the Dremel tool, I created a path for the cable of the pickup. Then, with a normal drill, I created the input. Through this hole, the cable will pass. Then, I created the bridge, which is just a piece of brass. The holes for the screws and the strings were made with a drill. In this picture, you can see it screwed to the box. The next step was to add the fretboard to the neck. This was done with some wood glue and then secured with sargents, as you can see in this image. The fretboard was wired down the neck, so what I did is, with the help of a Dremel tool, make it exactly the same width as the neck. Then, I had to paint the fretboard. This was done with some normal wood ink. Now, I had to mark the places where the frets should go. This was done with a fret calculator, which will be in the description, and a caliper, to be much more precise. Then, with a thin saw, I created the holes for each of the frets. These are the ones that I used. I bought them online. To insert the frets on place, I used a hammer. I didn't have to use any glue, as they fit perfectly. Then, I created the nuts. They are made out of black acrylic and they will take all the tension from the strings. I also created a little piece of wood for the bottom nut. It is just because it looks better. The last step was to unite the two parts of the cigar box. This was done with some holes on both sides of the box and wood inside, apart from lots of wood glue. The last step is to add the strings and the guitar is finished. Here you can see some images.